Day one in College Station. The fireworks, the bubbles were flying. Softballs flying out of the park. Not all of them finding the grass. Had a little bit of everything on day one. Some great plays, plenty of home runs, and two teams picking up wins. Arizona State and Texas A&M. They are set to go head-to-head in game one of day two at the College Station Regional as we welcome you to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Texas A&M 1-0, Arizona State 1-0. The Big 12 tournament champs ready to go against the overall number 15 seed in the tournament, the Texas A&M Aggies. As I said, game one here today. We have three on the schedule, of course. Our first elimination game comes up next between UConn and McNeese. Then the loser of this game will take on the winner of that game to close out our triple header here today. And it is great to have you with us alongside the Tennessee All-American Madison Shipman. I'm Eric Freed, and yes, it was quite the show yesterday with 11 home runs in those two games between those four teams. 11
home runs and a lot of bubbles coming from the Texas A&M side. I don't think you or I were expecting to see 11 home runs yesterday, although we knew that we were going to have some great offenses. And one thing is for sure is both of these teams are looking to carry over that offensive momentum from yesterday into today's game. For the Aggies, everything got going off of the bat of Ariel Kowalewski with that grand slam. She had been so good all season long with the bases loaded, and she upped her batting average. And I got to tell you, Eric, when you're 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 batters in your lineup all go yard, you know it's going to be a good day offensively, including this home run by Maya Perez, who has been one of their top power hitters all year long. But this Texas A&M offense is on a roll, but they are facing another offense who has been blasting the ball out of the park. You go back to that Big 12 championship, they had 3 home runs against Texas Tech. Well, they came out and hit back-to-back home runs in the first inning, and then down in the 9th spot, Tiade Ho-Ching with her first career multi-home run game coming out of the 9th spot. Talk about lengthening out your lineup when you're able to get that sort of power down in the 9th spot. She's not down there just to flip the lineup over. She is down there to provide some pop, but this is going to be a great battle between two offenses. Are we going to see more bubbles, or are we going to see the pitching shut them down?
I think they stocked up for the bubble machines. We're ready to go on a warm day in College Station. It's Arizona State at Texas A&M. The first pitch next. Back here at Davis Diamond, College Station, Texas, ready for the matchup of the two undefeated teams here in this regional, Arizona State and Texas A&M. And for the second consecutive day, getting the start for the Aggies, Sydney Peters.
Sydney Peters came out yesterday and ended up throwing 3 innings in their first game yesterday against UConn. Looked really, really solid in those 3 innings as well. Had 7 strikeouts. Did give up 1 home run to Savannah Ring for UConn, but other than that, she was doing a really nice job of moving her pitches all through the strike zone and staying on the edges of the zone too. That rise ball is her go-to 0-2 pitch. That's the pitch that she's going to get the strikeouts on, and she's also going to get chase early in the count because she throws it on different levels. You're going to see her mix speeds. To me, Eric, that's going to be the key for her today, especially given the way that Arizona State has been swinging the bats recently. You have to be able to mix in that changeup.
Take a look at the Arizona State starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One, with Wendell at the top, hitting .411. She scored the run that ended up ending yesterday's game against McNeese in the 5th inning. Same lineup as yesterday with Ho Ching, those 2 home runs, giving her 5 on the season, closing out the starting 9. Sunshine, some clouds, very humid, and the wind blowing out to left. Should be a good one here, and strike 1 from Sydney Peters to Tanya Wendell. Temp into the mid to high 80s, but with the humidity, it's going to feel like the low 90s here today.
There is a bit of a breeze, though, blowing through College Station, it feels like.
Wendell is going to try that breeze early, lifts it to center field, and getting a beat on it is Kelsey Mathis, who puts it away for out number 1.
Kelsey Mathis had to run a long way for that ball. That's all part of the beginning part of the game, trying to figure out which way the wind is blowing. How hard is the wind blowing? Looks like 15 miles per hour, so a bit of a breeze out there, but she had a really good beat on that one.
Meteorologist Madison Shipman checking in. Favorite part of the show.
Usually when we talk about the wind blowing and the flags, that's when the wind stops.
Yes.
So I appreciate the wind having my back on that one.
Kaylee Pond fouls it off for strike 1. Center fielder for Arizona State, .340 on the season with 15 home runs, 1 for 2 with her 15th home run yesterday. I think you make a great point, too, just a couple of minutes ago, Madison, how this lineup for Arizona State, pretty relentless when you can get that kind of production from the number 9 hitter in the lineup, getting a couple of home runs. Same for Texas A&M as you went down the lineup, home run, home run, home run, home run. That's something that both these pitchers are going to have to deal with today. Another fly ball to the center fielder, Mathis, 2 down.
And given the pitchers that they've been hitting off of recently, too, we talked about that Big 12 championship. They ended up hitting 3 home runs all in the same inning against Texas Tech. Well, the first one was off of the bat of Tanya Wendell, and that was against Nigeri Kennedy. And the next 2 home runs in that inning came off of Caitlin Terry. So you're talking about hitting home runs off of some of the best arms in the country.
Speaking of home runs, Samantha Swan hit a tape measure shot yesterday. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Swan now with 11 home runs on the season. Struggled in the Big 12 tournament, was 1 for 12, but back to her hitting ways yesterday, 2 for 4 with that home run. She's had an excellent season at the plate and behind the plate, handling the pitching staff for Arizona State. First team all-conference selection, a unanimous pick in the Big 12 this year. Native Texan. About an hour and 45 minutes away, Georgetown. The 0-2 pitch. Misses up. As Madison mentioned, Peters had 7 strikeouts yesterday in her 3 innings of work through 48 pitches, giving her 132 strikeouts for the season. That leads the staff. Swan with a little bloop to Michaela Wark at first. It's a 1-2-3 inning. In the circle for Arizona State will be the All-American Kenzie Brown. She'll step onto the field when we come back.
This Texas A&M offense is going to be facing one of the best strikeout pitchers in the country, and that is Kenzie Brown. She's already up to 238 strikeouts on the season, but look at the numbers for her in the Big 12 tournament. 16 strikeouts in 14 innings pitched. And Eric, I know my math is not great, but I know that that is more than one strikeout per inning when she is out there. She can move the ball to different parts of the zone. She can throw in an off-speed pitch, but that's what makes her one of the best pitchers in the country, is she can read what you're trying to do offensively, what you're trying to do with your swing, and throw to a completely different direction. She can work all 4 zones of the strike zone, and she's one of those pitchers where you can't necessarily go up there and sit on one particular pitch, because she can throw the drop, screwball, rise ball, curveball, changeup, you name it. She's got it in her back pocket, and she is looking to rack up some more strikeouts against this Texas A&M offense.
And you can see the Texas A&M lineup presented by Capital One with Kennedy Powell at the top. Kowalewski hit a grand slam yesterday, part of that home run barrage for Texas A&M. 5 homers. We'll see how they handle Kenzie Brown, who starts with the heat at 71 for strike 1. I think she's going to be a little pumped up. They didn't have to use her yesterday. Great job by Mika Lupi in the circle in her 5 innings, so Brown is fresh. The last time she pitched was last Saturday in that Big 12 tournament championship game in Oklahoma City. Bringing the heat early, and Powell is late on it, 0-2.
Yeah, those first 2 pitches, 71 and 70 miles per hour coming in there, but she'll sit right around 70, 71 the entire game. And as a hitter, when you get geared up for that velocity, when she pulls the string on that changeup, it can be hard to adjust.
She does just that. Fired up to get things started. 3 pitches, 1 down.
It's all about trying to get your timing down. What can you do to get your barrel further out in front to catch up with 71 miles per hour? And as you're thinking that, Kenzie Brown is thinking, you know what, I am going to pull the string on this changeup. Great location in the low part of the zone, too. You could see Kennedy Powell way out in front on that swing.
Changeup was clocked at 59 miles an hour, so she's coming in at 70-71 with her heat, and then drops it down to the 59 for the change.
And especially in a 2-strike approach, you can't possibly be on time for both of those, but we're going to see what sort of adjustments Texas A&M can make with their swings, maybe to shorten up to be able to make contact with those.
One on the count to Talon Edwards. 345 on the season. 1 for 2 yesterday with a couple of runs scored. Was walked and was hit by a pitch way out in front on the change. 1-2.
I'd be tempted to go back-to-back changeups here. We'll see what she does. But with that swing, I'd be coming right back in with the same pitch.
Gloved at first by Katie Chester. Edwards put it in play, but it's a ground out. 2 down here in the first. The head coach for Arizona State on the left is Megan Bartlett in her 4th season. She took over at Arizona State when Trisha Ford left Arizona State to take over here at Texas A&M as the Aggies head coach.
Seeing both of these head coaches, too, turning the programs around and building them back up to where they're in a spot here competing to make it on to super regionals. It's been really impressive to see what both of them have been able to do in such a relatively short amount of time.
There is Megan Bartlett, 9th season overall as a head coach. Her team 42-16. They have won 7 consecutive games, highlighted by that run in OKC for their first ever Big 12 tournament title. Knocked off the number 3 seed, the number 2 seed, and the number 1 seed. Trisha Ford's team, it's been much publicized. They went to Lexington. They were 1 and done in the SEC tournament. They ran into a hot Auburn team who hit 5 home runs. Came home, hit the reset button, got to work. And that work certainly looked like it paid off yesterday when they put 17 runs on the board in the victory against Connecticut, including 13 runs in the 2nd inning when 19 batters came to the plate, including Maya Perez, who had a couple of plate appearances in that 2nd inning. Interesting to see how Arizona State's handling her with the bases empty. They do throw a strike on 3-0. Perez at 436, 19 home runs, 55 runs batted in.
So far, Kenzie Brown has been throwing her a lot on the outer half. She did miss low with one of those changeups. Still a pretty good spot if Perez does decide to take a swing at that. Hard to make solid contact.
Perez does take a big cut, and the count is full, 3-2.
Came right back in underneath the hands, and we've talked a lot about Maya's swing and how she does a great job of keeping her hands inside of the ball. That pitch was coming in hot at 71 miles per hour right underneath the hands, and she somehow was able to keep her hands inside of that pitch and foul it off back.
The heat or pull the string on the 3-2. Perez takes a walk. It's a 58-game on-base streak for Maya. She's been on base in every single game this season. The streak dates back to last year's NCAA tournament. Amazing. It's
an incredible stat. The consistency that she brings in when pitchers do decide to throw to her, it feels like when she swings, the ball is leaving the yard. And I know we talked yesterday about how not all walks are created equal. That is a good walk, in my opinion, for Kenzie Brown.
Here's Michaela Wark. Fouls off the first pitch. Why do you think that, Maddie?
She was pitching on the outside part of the strike zone, and her misses were either down below the zone or well outside in the other batter's box. You do not want to miss over the plate to Maya Perez. You do not want to let her be the player that beats you. So if you're going to miss, you miss with something outside of the zone that's going to be a ball, and if she takes her base, she takes her base.
0-2 to Michaela Wark, leads the team in home runs with 20, RBI with 69. She's been that protection for Perez.
Looks like they called an illegal pitch, Eric.
Interesting. Second base umpire Mike Bartling is coming into the circle. Here comes the Arizona State head coach Megan Bartlett out for an explanation.
Everything looks good to me there on the windup. She's not striding outside of that pitcher's lane. But it did come from the second base umpire, so that's going to bring it to a 1-1 count instead of an 0-2 count.
What are the things they could be looking at here? The lane there, obviously, where the chalk lines are still, you can see that lane towards her left foot is starting to disappear.
Right, and now you just have to make contact with that chalk line. So as long as any part of your foot as a pitcher is touching that chalk line, you are good to go. That's a legal pitch. The only other thing that I can think of, maybe she did not wipe off her hand before she got in, or put her hand on the softball. Maybe from that, like, is she sliding her foot forward? But see, that would be very hard to tell from the second base umpire.
Her foot that was on the rubber, right? Yes. Was that a little bit ahead? Wark trying to make her pay, lifts it deep to right, it's carrying, it's gone!
I know it's early, Eric, but that illegal pitch could be a huge moment in this game. And what about Michaela Wark coming through and taking advantage of the opportunity? It was going to be an 0-2 count. Instead, it's 1-1, and she is ready. Gets this pitch on the outer half of the zone. Looks like it's supposed to be a curveball that's going to break away from Michaela Wark, but she is ready for it. Steps into it and drives it. You're seeing the power that she has in her swing to drive that ball over the right field wall and give the Aggies the early lead.
Kowalewski fouls it off. That is the 50th career home run for Michaela Wark, her 21st this season. And you're right, let's just make a note of that. It's hard to forget it, that the illegal pitch is called. It's a 1-1 count instead of 0-2. Does that just throw Kenzie Brown's delivery off a bit? These are all questions you ask after you see someone go the opposite way for the home run like Wark did.
Well, when you get called for an illegal pitch, obviously the pitcher is going to go out there and try to correct whatever it was that the illegal pitch was called on. I'm still watching her stride here to see if that's what our second base umpire saw, because of his angle, to me, that's probably what he was looking for, to make sure that she stays in that pitching lane.
Kowalewski fouls it off, and it's holding at 0-2.
Typically, when you see illegal pitches called, they're either coming from the first base umpire, or they're coming from the third base umpire, or if it's a timing violation, coming from the home plate umpire. But very rarely do we see it coming from out at second base.
Kowalewski, a little bloop back behind third, drifting back and making the catch is Emily Shep. And that will do it. But Michaela Wark goes deep. The 6th home run for A&M here in this regional.
Home run 21 for Michaela Wark, and it is the biggest home run for her this season. Going yard off of Kenzie Brown to give the Aggies the 2-0 lead.
We were trying just to go through what the illegal pitch call could have been, so we've had a chance to review it, and Maddie's got an idea here.
Yeah, so we went back through everything because I wanted to make sure that she didn't go straight from the dirt to go to the softball, but she ends up wiping her hand, puts her hand into her glove, so all of that is good to go. But watch her left foot where she strides outside of that pitching lane. That is the only thing to me that I think would be called an illegal pitch. Now, granted, your toe just has to touch the edge of the chalk line to be legal, but our second base umpire, you can see where he's standing. He's looking right at that. If she ends up going past that chalk line, then it's going to be called an illegal pitch.
And Madison's talking about that final paragraph there. You can see the line being ripped apart. And to your point earlier, Madison, there was the second base umpire, it appeared, who came out to make the call, and that would have been right down his line of sight, because that's where he's set up right now on that chalk line, it would appear. You can get a look at it too. When Peters releases it, she's well inside the line.
Right, and that's, you know, you and I like to use our context clues, right,
yes,
to figure out what the call is on the field. And since it did come from behind second base, it was either her touching the ground, going straight to the ball, or to me, that pitcher's lane. And when I was watching her, she definitely made those adjustments on those following pitches. But I think we know by now to expect the unexpected. That is the first out of the pitcher's lane illegal pitch, I believe, that I have seen. Or at least seen called in game.
It was a quiet day yesterday. Usually when Madison Shipman's on the call, there's something from deep, deep, deep inside the rule book that emerges that we didn't know existed.
I can feel my rule book heating up already.
So 2-0 for A&M as Arizona State bats here in the second, with Emily Shep leading things off at .361 on the season. Shep really good at the Big 12 tournament, 5 for 9, a couple of home runs, 1 for 3 with an RBI yesterday in the 8-0 win over McNeese. Little bloop, foul ground, long run, good effort by Powell. She just can't get there. Got a dirty uniform for the effort, though.
She looks to be all right, too, hopping back up. She made that play close all the way over in foul territory. I know we talked yesterday how there's a ton of foul territory room here in College Station.
Kenny's going to be kicking dirt out of the pants for a little while. 2-2 the count to Shep. Get a look at the dimensions here at Davis Diamond. And a lot of that foul ground here. That's up high from Peters. But we know Texas A&M can swing the bats. We saw that against Auburn. They had 8 runs in that game, but the problem was pitching gave up 11 runs. And this is going to be the big question as this game goes on, this regional goes on. Can Texas A&M get enough out of the circle to keep teams like Arizona State quiet? This one is dropping quickly, and it's It's down for a base hit. Good effort by Vrajel in right, but it's a single for Schlepp to lead off in the second.
Sydney Peters goes back with another one of the changeups here. So this one's hit not extremely hard off of the bat, but it looks like Vrajel almost got caught in between on the backhand and the slide. And because of that, she wasn't able to come up with that ball cleanly out in right field. Now, granted, that would have been an extraordinary play if she did catch that one, but
we've seen
a break on it.
We've seen some extraordinary plays here on day one. Shep aboard to start things here in the second, and it's ball one to Katie Chester. First team all-conference selection, the junior first baseman at 355 with a team best 19 home runs, team best 64 RBI. 1 for 3 yesterday. Single season home run record is in sight, and she will add to it here. 2-run shot, Katie Chester, we're tied at 2. Home run number 20. The Arizona State record is 21 by Sydney Sanders.
When you talk to head coach Megan Bartlett about Katie Chester and what is it about her that makes her the hitter that she is, Coach Bartlett talks about how she does not let the game speed up on her, and this is a prime example of that. You could have let last inning frustrate you. You could have been frustrated by the fact that an illegal pitch was called and A&M capitalized on it, but what does she do? She gets a pitch in the zone and she blasts it straight out to center field, almost nails our cameras out there in center field and ties up this game with just one swing of the bat.
Here's Ashley Mejia. Swings at the first pitch. Fly ball to Mathis in center field. One away here in the second.
Got to admit, Eric, I wasn't sure if we were going to see the home run display like we saw yesterday, but through the first inning and a half of this game, it's proven me wrong.
That's 6 home runs now for Arizona State in the College Station Regional. And as I say that, the wind picks up a little more blowing out to the outfield.
Well, with the way that some of these outfielders are playing defense, too, robbing home runs. Alexis Dibley from McNeese robbed a home run yesterday. You got to make sure that you get that ball way up and out of here, not to even let the defenders have a chance.
2-0 to Yaya Acuna, senior left fielder.
Like this move by Ariel Kowalewski just to come out and have a quick chat with Sydney Peters. It seems like things are speeding up just a little bit for her out there in the circle. Gives up the 2-run home run. Did get a quick fly ball out, but now falling behind 2-0 to Yaya Acuna. You can see the infielders playing into. This is one of those times where you want to let Acuna just put the ball on the ground.
2-1 to Acuna. Texas A&M's pitching staff has struggled keeping the ball in the park. That's the 61st home run that A&M pitching has given up this year. That's the second most amongst SEC teams. 3-1 to Acuna.
That can be part of the danger, too, when you see, not just for Texas A&M, but really pitchers across the country that throw a lot of rise balls. If you miss with that rise ball, that's a pitch that's going to sail up and out of the yard.
Slap foul, and the count's full to Acuna.
What it could come down to, too, for both of these teams is trying to limit the damage swing when there are runners on board. If you give up the solo home run, oftentimes those aren't going to be the home runs that hurt you. But if you give up the 2-run home run, the 3-run home run, or the grand slam like we saw off the bat of Ariel Kowalewski yesterday, that's when the score can get out of control.
Strikeout for Peters. That's her first after picking up 7 yesterday, 2 down.
She fought her way back in this count, too. Fell behind 2-0 and worked those rise balls at the bottom part of the zone and continued to climb higher and higher until she got that last swing and miss.
There's Brooklyn Ulrich batting 8th. Strike one. You cannot sleep on 8 and 9 in the Arizona State lineup. Ulrich was 6 for 10 with a couple of home runs in the Big 12 tournament, and we showed you before what Ho Ching did yesterday with the 2 home runs. 0-2. Ulrich 0 for 1 yesterday with a walk and a run scored. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning for Sydney Peters, but Arizona State ties it up on a Katie Chester 2-run shot.
Home run number 21 for Katie Chester, and it is a big one, tying up this ball game in the second inning. It's 2-2 Arizona State and A&M.
Two-two game as we go to the home half of the second inning. Kenzie Brown in the circle for Arizona State. Samantha Swan is her catcher. Here's what the catcher had to say about the pitcher.
She has amazing spin, and she can also pull the string with the changeup. Like, the fact that she throws 72 and then can pull the string at maybe 52, like, that's hard, tough to beat. And everything, she has up spin, down spin, like, she really brings it all together, all facets of pitching, yeah.
Sounds challenging to face.
Absolutely. Hard to come up with a game plan, and I'd imagine for each one of these A&M hitters, the plan might look just a little bit differently, trying to play into their strengths. But it was really fun getting a chance to talk to both Kenzie Brown and Samantha Swan. And we asked Samantha if Kenzie is one of those pitchers that, you know, needs a little bit tough love when you go out to the circle, or if she likes to lighten up the mood. And Sam Swan said, definitely more of the keep it light and maybe even tell a joke. That's all part of catching, too. We talked about how tough it is to be back there on a daily basis, whether it's catching an entire staff of pitchers or dealing with some of the foul balls back there, but also knowing your pitchers and learning their personalities and what they need.
Swing and a miss for Kelsey Mathis. I think Kenzie is willing to lean into being a little fun and relaxed because she allows her mask to be bedazzled.
Yes.
She told us who the bedazzler was.
I'm all for the bedazzled
Oh, you?
mask,
Okay.
by the way, yes.
I can't recall who the bedazzler is on the team, though. Let me check my notes. I don't write that down, but we were talking to Kenzie before the regional started, and he's got a designated bedazzler who's doing a fantastic job, by the way.
Was it Yazzie Avila?
I think so, but you notice like the K backwards to start it.
Yeah.
That's a swinging K instead of a backwards K. Second strikeout for Kenzie Brown, one away.
You're seeing the spin that Samantha Swan talked about on display from Kenzie Brown early in this game, whether she's working those pitches at the bottom part of the zone, working the rise ball up. We've already seen her pull the string a couple of times on that changeup, but she's just going to continue to mix and match these pitches against what Texas A&M is trying to do.
Here's KK Dement with one down. Talked about hitting the reset button, turning the page, pick your phrase. Here's one player who definitely paid attention. KK Dement in the 7 games before Friday was 1 for 21 at the plate and 0 for her last 12. She dropped the 3 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBI yesterday. Off her foot, it's 0-2.
I think it's safe to say she was ready to get regionals up and going. She did mention, too, after the game yesterday that even though they lost in that SEC tournament, which nobody wants to lose, but they were able to take advantage of some more practice time that they got leading into this regional this weekend.
Bottom drops out of that one. Brown gets back-to-back strikeouts, 2 down.
That pitch, the way that it comes out of her hand, too, and how it just stays right about at the knees. It's not until the batters decide to swing that it drops off of the table. Such hard, sharp, down bite to that pitch.
Strike 1 to Paisley Allen, sophomore left fielder. 5 straight sophomores in the lineup for Texas A&M, 5-9. Oh, 2. Allen was 2 for 2 yesterday with a couple of runs scored. Down the count, 0-2. Changeup swung on and missed. Brown strikes out the side in the second.
Throwing nothing but strikes this entire inning. She had just 1 ball. Everything else she is pumping in strike after strike after strike, and it is 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for Kenzie Brown. Tiade Ho-Ching came out swinging yesterday in the 9th spot for Arizona State. Went yard and then went yard again. She even told us, I believe on the second swing, that she grunted just a little bit to get it out there. But she was swinging a great bat in yesterday's ball game. Love the reactions, too, as she's rounding the bases. She knows just how important each and every run is this weekend, and the way that she's able to be a spark plug at the bottom of the order is huge for this Arizona State offense.
We couldn't hear the grunt. She's the one who admitted to it when we talked to her after the win yesterday. But that look on her face as she was rounding first. Those wide eyes. Down to the count 0-2 to Peters as she gets the call. Ho-Ching 2 for 3 with those 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in.
Had a couple of hits in that Big 12 tournament championship game too against Texas Tech. So back-to-back multi-hit games for her. And her first career multi-home run game yesterday. You have to go all the way back to the end of March going into early April, the last time she went back-to-back games with multi-hit games.
Started last season as a freshman, Big 12 all-conference selection. So making her second appearance in the NCAA tournament. Fouls it off. Last year, Arizona State went 0-2 in the UCLA regional. A couple of tight games. Lost to San Diego State by a run, UCSB in 10 innings by a run. Their win yesterday over McNeese was their first tourney win since the 2022 NCAA tournament. Just missed. It's 2-2. Megan Bartlett's team with 35 wins a season ago. They're up to 42 wins after the win yesterday. 7-game winning streak for the Sun Devils entering play today. Good at-bat by Ho-Ching, who is down the count 0-2. It's now a full count.
When she was asked yesterday about what felt different for her stepping into the batter's box, she just said that she went into the box relaxed, and it was working for her, so I guaranteed she's going into today's game with the exact same mindset, being relaxed in the batter's box.
Sydney Peters threw 48 pitches yesterday. This is the 8th pitch of this at-bat to Ho-Ching leading off the 3rd. Peters went 3 yesterday, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, struck out 7. Josh Bloomer thought about it at 3rd and thought better of it as he saw it coming at it a little quickly.
That one was hit 70 miles per hour off of the bat, so probably your first instincts are to field it, and then at the last minute you're thinking, I might let that one go.
And you remember you're the hitting coach and third base coach, not the fielding coach, so pull that hand up. Another 3-2. That should reach the seats, and it will. Giaddi's numbers at the plate down a little bit compared to last year. 339 a season ago, which was 3rd on the team. 252 entering play today. Bloop by second base. Talon Edwards comes and gets it. 1 away. 4 in a row retired by Peters after giving up the 2-run home run to Katie Chester. Back to the top of the lineup at Tanya Wendell.
One thing we got to talk to Sydney about, and typically when you think of pitchers getting into a good rhythm out there, they tend to speed up or want to throw pitches really, really quickly, but she does the complete opposite. She has the same pre-pitch routine, and she even kind of talked to us a little bit about working the pitch clock down just to make sure that she was getting in her entire routine, not speeding up as the game went on. A bit of a different mentality than I feel like we see from a lot of pitchers that we watch throughout the season.
In on the hands of Wendell, fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Yeah, sometimes you think for a pitcher, oh, I'm pounding the zone, they can't catch up. I just want to stay on top of them, keep moving, push the rhythm up. And the feeling was, I'm going to take a beat here.
And to me, it comes back to taking control of the at-bat. And in my opinion, she's taking control of what she can by taking her time and going back to the back of the pitcher's circle before she steps back onto that rubber.
Good pitch there. Wendell can't get it. Strikeout number 3 for Sydney Peters. 2 down here in the 3rd inning. 7 innings live. You talk about a big day for 7 innings live. This is it. Each of the regionals with 3 games on the schedule, so they have you covered from morning until night. Chris, Alyssa, Tori, Tara, they'll all be in and out of the studio today. You can catch it on the ESPN app. the best way to stay on top of what's happening in all 16 regions today. It's a much better way than what Madison Shipman does, and she opens 16 tabs on her browser on her computer, which we talked about yesterday. That's a hit batter right there. Kaylee Pond is aboard with 2 down.
We talked about it yesterday. I feel like I have less tabs open today than I did yesterday. And it looked like Kaylee Pond maybe just got that one on the elbow guard. Looks to be okay. She throws her bat back towards
she knew it was coming.
The dugout. See, by you talking about that, I'm getting the sense that you are not a 49 tabs open at one time type of person.
Are you one of those people where I'd be appalled to see how many unread emails and unread messages you have on your phone?
1,000%. And just as a clue out there, more than 1,000.
More than 1,000 and more than 1,000%.
Yes.
There's Samantha Swan. Ball 1 to Swan, who popped out her first time. In on the hand, soft liner to Edwards, and that will do it for Arizona State in the third. We've played 2.5 here at Davis Diamond, tied at 2.
There is nothing like the Women's College World Series.
The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday, May 28th at 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Madison and I were fortunate enough to be back at the Big 12 Tournament Championship game at Devon Park, and it looks a lot different for the Big 12 championship, but the excitement level is high for softball at all times in OKC, and it just goes to just some other level come World Series time.
Yeah, you'll really see Devon Park transform over the next couple of weeks leading into the Women's College World Series, and it is always a packed house. And if we learned anything from last year, you never know what is going to happen during those games. Makes it just that much more exciting each and every year.
Yeah, certainly be aware for steals of home. That happened last year.
Swings on the intentional walks.
Swings on the intentional walks. That was last year.
The Lindsey Grine pitch that hit the dirt ball, I think is what we were calling it, because her pitch ended up hitting the piece of dirt that came up from her cleat, I believe it was.
much better than the slow-mo of a Randy Johnson pitch from years ago, but don't Google search that.
We do not need to
you're aware.
look back at that. Yes,
I know
yes.
you're a baseball fan too. Dirt ball much better than bird ball.
Yes.
Frankie Vrajel to lead things off for Texas A&M here in the bottom of the third. Matchup of 1-0 teams here in the College Station Regional. The winner plays tomorrow, and they are in the driver's seat for winning this regional in this double elimination tournament. Loser is not done, but they'll have to come back tonight and take on the winner of our next game, our first elimination game between McNeese and UConn. 1-2 is a ground ball to the left side. Ulrich with the throw, Chester with the catch, one away. Kenzie Brown's 32nd appearance, her 24th start. Opponents hitting 172 against her this season. And with her 4 strikeouts today, she's up to 242 on the season. She got Kennedy Powell on a strikeout to start things in the first.
Second time through the order now for A&M. We'll see what sort of adjustments that they make offensively. This is one of those times where maybe if you're Kennedy Powell and you know that you struck out on the changeup in your last at-bat, do you go up there and sit it in this at-bat, anticipating that she might bring you another one of those pitches?
Slapped out to left. It's going to hang in the air long enough for Acuna to get it. And Powell is retired. 2 down.
The one area where we've seen both pitchers be very sharp today is getting the pitch in on the hands of these batters. When you're able to do that, you've got to establish the inside part of the plate. It can completely open up the outside part of the plate, but you have to be able to work that pitch right underneath the hands of these power hitters to make sure that they're not able to get extended.
Talon Edwards grounded to first. Her first time, takes ball 1. There's the changeup, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Just nasty, coming in at 50, 60 miles per hour, excuse me.
I think after seeing 72, it feels like it's 50. Might even feel like 15 miles an hour, how slow.
That one a little bit faster than some of the other changeups that we saw coming in.
Framed by Swan, called the ball, and it's 2-1. Ground ball to the right side. That's Ho Ching. 7 in a row retired by Kenzie Brown. We'll talk to her head coach, Megan Bartlett, when we come back to College Station, tied at 2 after 3. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. A good one here in College Station. Tied at 2 as we head to the 4th and chatting with Megan Bartlett, the Arizona State head coach. Megan, I want to go chronologically in the big moments in this game. First of all, on the illegal pitch called for Kenzie, what were the umpires telling you and how did it impact Kenzie after that call?
She was outside of the pitching lane. You don't see that called very often, so but she made a nice adjustment. She is firmly inside that lane now. Rise ball looks good, changeup looks good, so we carry on.
Yeah, Coach, Eric and I were talking about, I think that was the first one that we had seen all season long.
Year.
But what you have seen all year long is Katie Chester going yard. And I know you said that she is somebody that doesn't let the moment get too big, but what is it that you see on a day-to-day basis that leads to her success?
Oh man, really great hand-eye coordination. She has tremendous power, but I think the coolest part about Katie is just how she's grown as a hitter and a human. She's just continued to become more mature and just clean up, you know, if there was a hole in the swing. I mean, she just works so hard and she's a great kid, but just to watch her again, like mature and just be able to compartmentalize and let one at bat not bleed into the next, she's going to be real tough and she's got another year as a Sun Devil.
I thought the coolest thing about Katie was her nickname, Cheddar.
Yeah. No? For anybody on Ched, that's who we're talking to.
Appreciate it, Megan. Thank you,
Coach.
All right, so that cleans it up. You were right on top of it. Out of the lane. Made the adjustment. It's been good since that home run. 7 straight A&M batters retired by Kenzie Brown. But first time an illegal pitch has been called on Kenzie Brown all year.
Yeah, and it all comes down to how quickly can you make the adjustment. Once that is called, once the illegal pitch is called, there's nothing you can do about it. But what can you do to make sure that that's not something that's going to be called again? And it seems like she's very easily made that adjustment because it feels like she has been in complete control since then. All 3 of her strikeouts have come after that home run, and she had, what, just a 10-pitch inning this last half inning?
The next pitch after the call
agreed,
was
yes.
the home run. So that, for that moment, as Shep leads off and sends it into the gap, and it's going to get down and end up at the wall. Emily Shep digging for second, slides in with a leadoff double, her second hit of the game. If you're Arizona State, one thing you like is the response after the call on Brown. She gives up the 2-run home run. They come back next half inning, hit the 2-run shot. Now they're trying to put pressure on Sydney Peters. Here are the 4th.
And Emily Shep led off with a base hit in the top of the 2nd inning, and here she is with a leadoff double to get things going in the top of the 4th inning, and that'll bring up Katie Chester. And now I'm going to correct myself. Earlier today I said 21 home runs. It is 20 on the season for Katie Chester, although I'm sure that she would love to see home run number 21 here.
That would tie the Arizona State single season record. She is at 20 after hitting that shot with Shep on in the 2nd. Home run tracked at 236 feet. Off the camera platform in center field. Two and 0.
You can hear the reaction from the Texas A&M fans. It looked like that pitch got a good piece of the strike zone, but the call does not go in Peters' way. So how does she respond here on this 2-0 count?
Misses the mark, and it's 3-0. Time called, and another visit in the circle from Ariel Kowalewski. Take you back to the 2nd inning, the 2-run shot by Chester.
Ton of power, and we saw that on display. That's what Coach Megan Bartlett was just telling us about. This is a rise ball that's trying to work up and underneath the hands of Katie Chester, but she beats that pitch to the spot, gets her barrel out in front, and drills that one all the way out to center field.
Junior from Liberty, Missouri. It's a 4-pitch walk, 2 on with nobody out here in the 4th. See how Arizona State plays it here with Mejia at the plate. Ashley's got 10 home runs, 37 runs batted in, so she's got some pop. Batting 6th. We'll see if Arizona State goes to sacrifice a little small ball here to move the runner 60 feet. Mejia has the bat out in front of the plate. Ready to swing, takes a ball.
Started her off with the first pitch changeup that missed up towards the top. She had one of the 5 home runs that Arizona State hit in yesterday's ball game. Had a double as well.
Pops it up and now led up out of play. Sydney Peters trying to work out of a jam. Junior from Santa Fe, Texas, who was slowed by injury last year, missed 2 months, made a return to the NCAA tournament season ago. Now she's emerged as the ace of the staff, although it does feel like it's a shared responsibility for this Texas A&M team.
You've got a bunch of different arms that can do a lot for this Texas A&M staff. You have Sydney Peters, you have Sydney Lessentine. We saw Kate Munnerlyn come in. She's going to come in from the left side, throw in those changeups. So you are seeing a lot of teams, not just Texas A&M, but playing those matchups with the different types of arms that they have out in the circle.
Good pitch. Bahia couldn't catch it, and it's 1-2.
There's a part of me, too, that was wondering if they were going to have Ashley Mejia sack bunt. And after that first foul ball, third base coach Josh Bloomer ended up calling time to have a quick chat with Ashley Mejia before she got back into the batter's box. Now, one thing we know from talking to Coach Megan Bartlett and also to the players that are on the team, they are working to stick to a game plan. Coach Bartlett said that the way that Coach Josh Bloomer teaches the players about hitting, that she wouldn't be surprised if there are a bunch of hitting coaches already on the team with how knowledgeable they are about game plans.
Slapped out, making the catch in foul ground is Powell. 1 down here in the 4th.
Good battle by Peters, too, just working these pitches outside and getting Ashley Mejia leaning just a bit. So this one's off the end of the bat. A great play by Kennedy Powell, too, going back to her right, that drop step with the right foot, catching it in foul territory and immediately turning around to make sure that no runners were going to try to advance.
Strike 1 to Yaya Acuna. Senior from Tucson, struck out her first time. Looks to bunt, pops it up. Powell again, given the effort, just couldn't get there in time.
We've seen her running all over the place already in this ball game. She ran way down the line. You can still actually see the mark where she dove in foul territory down that left field line to try to make a catch. She went back already to make the catch on the Ashley Mejia fly ball, and now she's running forward to try to catch a bunt.
Kennedy's like, I'm gonna get one of these sooner or later. Off the plate, 1-2. 58 pitches thrown by Peters. She threw 48 yesterday in her 3 innings against McNeese. Brings the 1-2. Gets the strikeout. Back-to-back outs recorded by Peters. 2 down.
We saw this from Sydney Peters yesterday, going after these left-handed batters with that pitch that has some really good arm side run on it. So it's a pitch that's going to break away from the left-handed batters, moving like a screwball away. Got a little up bite on that pitch, too, for another strikeout.
Ball 1 to Brooklyn Ulrich, who struck out her first time. Slap foul, and it's 1-1. Almost. Everything's almost on the left side for Texas A&M right now. Kennedy Powell, Staff down the left field line in the bullpen. Misses for a ball. It's 2-1. Been a couple of pitches this inning that the A&M fans and Sydney Peters thought were strikes.
And I feel like, too, at the beginning of the game, you were seeing the pitches at the top and the bottom of the zone called consistently for strikes.
Popped up. I think Powell's got enough room for this one. She's got it. Great job by Sydney Peters to work out of the jam and keep it tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Conversation with the Texas A&M head coach, Tricia Ford, coming up when we come back. Heading to the bottom of the 4th here at Davis Diamond, tied at 2. Texas A&M and Arizona State. Tricia Ford, the A&M head coach, with us right now. Tricia, I think you made it pretty clear heading into the NCAA tournament. A lot of attention was going to be on your pitching staff. You needed to see more. What have you seen, and what's impressed you especially about Sydney Peters?
Yeah, she's just fighting. You know, I think you have 2 really good pitchers on the mound right now fighting hard for their teams.
Offensively, we know that Kenzie Brown is extremely tough out there in the circle. You guys are heading second time through the order. What do you want to see from your offense to break this tie?
Yeah, I mean, just keep battling. I mean, make each pitch hard. You know, I think we've chased a little bit, so I think just, you know, closing up that zone a little bit.
This is fun for us, but we learned you only have fun when you're winning.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
right.
Winning is fun. Yeah.
We got that. We'll put that on a T-shirt for you, Tricia. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much. Gig 'em.
She was talking after the game last night. 17 runs on the board. Like, you know, everybody, this is fun. Like, just want to win. I just like win. Winning is the fun thing.
I agree. Winning is fun. I am with her on that. She said that it's kind of the running joke of the team, too, that she'll go say, she'll tell the team, have fun.
There's someone who's having a lot of fun at the plate. Maya Perez takes strike 1. Walked and scored on the walk home run back in the 1st. Stretching her on-base streak to 58 games. If you haven't been following Texas A&M during the season, teams generally have been very careful with Maya Perez. They have pitched around her quite a bit. She has walked quite a bit, 52 walks on the season before that walk in the 1st. That one skips up for a ball.
And that's why it's so important for somebody like Michaela Wark, who is batting in the 4th spot, batting right behind Maya Perez, knowing that there are going to be teams that want to pitch around her, but we've already seen the damage that Michaela Wark can do with just one swing of the bat.
We talked to Michaela about that. It doesn't apply here this inning because Perez is leading off, but Michaela says, when I'm in the hole, I feel like I'm on deck because she knows she's going to get a chance with Perez at the plate.
Well, you just talked about her on-base streak going back to last season.
Hit hard but foul.
I would say it's a pretty safe bet that she's going to come up to the plate. And so at times she did say too that if teams are going to intentionally walk Maya, at times she might not even watch those pitches because she's just trying to get locked in and not let whatever is happening during the game get to her. That's one thing too, talking to Coach Tricia Ford about with Coach Jeff Harger, that they work on a lot is taking the emotions out of the at-bats.
It's another walk for Maya. She's aboard to lead things off here in the fourth. We said she's got good protection behind her, Michaela Wark. And Michaela hit home run number 21 on the season.
Tons of oppo power in this swing from Michaela Wark, too. I know yesterday we talked about her stance and how she has that closed stance. She's way off at the plate. So at times, pitchers will try to throw her outside, try to get her to chase off the plate away. But she has such great plate coverage, not just on those inside pitches, but also to be able to get to those pitches away. Wouldn't be surprised here if we see Kenzie Brown trying to pull the string on that changeup, knowing the power that Wark has.
Haley Golden will run for Perez. Golden 5 for 5 on stolen bases this year. 44 stolen bases for A&M as a team. Not a big part of what they do offensively, especially if you got someone like Wark at the plate who can produce extra base hits. 21 home runs for Wark. Popped her up, right side of the infield. Tough sun, Ho Ching calls for it and puts it away. Tiati, no problem. She's got the sunglasses on her visor. She was locked in on it.
Really good communication, too, between Tiade and Katie Chester, who's playing first base, because both of them could have gotten to that fly ball. But what that tells me is that Tiade had a better read with the sun, that she could see that fly ball a bit better, and that was a huge first out for Arizona State.
There's Kowalewski. Takes strike one. Ariel popped out to third her first time. Oh, and 2. A&M scored 2 in the first. Arizona State answered back with 2 in the second. Scoreless since then. 3 hits for Arizona State, just 1 for Texas A&M off of Kenzie Brown. It was the Wark 2-run home run. A pitch after Brown had been called for an illegal pitch for the first time all season. Popped up, shallow right. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Thrown away, but backing it up is Shep. No one covering third, but Brown comes in to cover third. But the runner is safe. The pitcher moved over to cover the base. Golden slid in time. Sliding into second is Kowalewski, and Texas A&M has runners on second and third with 1 out.
Kowalewski ends up getting jammed up on this fly ball out to right field, and it was a really close play over at third base. Kenzie Brown, smart move to come over and cover, and I think that foot of Haley Golden just got in maybe just before the tag was applied. Are we going to have a review here?
We will. Megan Bartlett comes out and asks the home plate umpire, Eric Peterson. First of all, there's going to be a conversation, but I saw her make the earmuff motion that she wants a video review.
The ruling on the field of safe at third base is being challenged by ASU. The play is under further review.
Mike Bartling, second base umpire, is the crew chief. So the on-field umpires won't have a say in the review. They'll just put on the headsets, and it's being reviewed at the replay center in Pittsburgh.
Let's take another look at it here. Kenzie Brown coming over to cover third base. It looked like the throw beat Haley Golden. Let's see if that tag gets down there in time. I think her foot's in there.
I think she kept that lead leg down, got the heel on the bag.
This is a great angle right here.
Kept the foot on the bag, Madison. Didn't pop up. Contact and tag. Boy, it is close. But I think just by our first looks, this one will not be changed.
Great point, too, because she does keep her foot on the base after she makes contact with it the entire time. That's difficult to do, too, with you when you have that momentum on the slide working almost to your disadvantage, but she somehow keeps that foot on there.
So the replay center in Pittsburgh taking a look at the multiple angles. They'll make the decision and pass that decision on to our field umpires here in College Station.
The question, as always, is there enough indisputable video evidence to overturn what the call was on the field? The call on the field was safe.
Golden running for Maya Perez, sliding in safely. Kowalewski at second base, scored a single and a throwing error on Ho Ching, allowing Kowalewski to get to second base, and Golden in safely at third. Just the second hit off of Kenzie Brown. Long discussion here, so they're taking a long look at it. It was a really good play by Kenzie Brown to get over there, be heads up, cover the empty bag, made the catch, snapped the tag down as quickly as she could, but I think just a great slide by Golden, just not to pop up before she got to the bag or after she hit the bag, keeping contact.
Coach Bartlett has talked to us about how, and she even said yesterday after the game, how defense is something that the team feeds off of, and that's one of those plays that can be very underrated as far as when there's that overthrow, who's going to rotate, who's going to cover, because there's always a base that needs to be covered. So I completely agree with you, Eric. I thought that was a really nice job by Kenzie Brown just to get over there to try to apply the tag in time after things were kind of spiraling out of control there for that Arizona State defense.
Inning started with a walk to Perez. Golden ran for her. Warwick with the pop out at second. Then Kowalewski with the bloop that dropped in front of Mejia. For the moment, runners at second and third with one out in a tie game here in the fourth.
They are taking a long look at this. I still feel like when I look at it now, I have been known to be wrong every once in a while on these reviews. I think she's going to be safe, but we will see what the call is.
Mike Bartling has it.
After review, the call at third base stands. The runner is safe. ASU is charged with one timeout. They have one remaining.
It was a stands instead of a confirmed.
And that's why it's so important what the call on the field was, because they're looking for that indisputable video evidence to change the call that was made on the field, and the call on the field was safe. So the Aggies now with two runners in scoring position with just one away, and KK Dement stepping up to the plate. Kelsey Mathis, excuse me.
First Mathis, Dement on deck. Here's Mathis, 0 for 1 against Brown. Ball one. Kelsey struck out in the second. That was the inning where Brown struck out the side. Kenzie with 4 strikeouts total as she works here in the fourth. 2-0. Ground ball to short. This will get a run in. The out at first. It's 3-2. Texas A&M in front.
Productive out by Kelsey Mathis, especially after striking out on the rise ball in her last at bat, just doing whatever she can to get that ball in play. one of those moments where as a batter, you can't go up there and start thinking about the 3-run home run, but you have to zero in. What can you do to bring across a run? And Kelsey Mathis does exactly that.
It is an unearned run because of the error to Ho Ching. And here is Dement. Little bloop caught by Brown, and that will do it. And it's a little bloop because the bat broke in two. You don't see that every day, but there's a barrel and a handle, and they are no longer attached.
I think that just gives you an idea of just how hard Kenzie Brown is throwing the ball today. Right in on the hands, breaks the bat of Dement.
Season's on the line in our next game, our first elimination game here in College Station. McNeese and Connecticut. About 5:30 Eastern time. Depends, of course, on the end time for our first game here between Texas A&M and Arizona State. So you'll see the Cowgirls and the Huskies coming up in game 2. Loser of this game will take on the winner of that game tonight here at College Station.
Both of those teams just going to be battling with their backs up against the wall, trying to forget about what happened yesterday and make quick adjustments in today's game. And you wonder, too, if Alexis Dibley is dreaming about robbing some home runs out there in center field again.
McNeese team down past the third base bullpen area. Popped up and foul and out of play off the bat of Ho Ching, who popped out to second her first time. Thoughts on Sydney Peters, Madison Shipman, as she works here in the 5th?
I really think she's been doing a nice job, one, of keeping her rhythm and keeping her pace. She is not speeding up at all. She is sticking with the same routine every single time that she steps out there on the rubber. And she's been mixing speeds, mixing locations, and you haven't seen her miss over the heart of the plate too much. Even a pitch like that in a 2-strike count, I think that's a really good miss on the outer half, just to see if you can get Ho Ching to chase at something like that. But the way she's been able to move the ball in different directions, too, is really holding down this Arizona State offense.
Off the glove of Peters, going to be a tough play on the run. Not in time. See if there's a challenge coming here from Texas A&M, because Dement, after it hit the glove of Peters, got a lot on it. And it was very close at first. I think she's safe.
Yeah, I think she just beat it. Not by much. KK Dement made that a very close play over at first base after the ricochet off of Sydney Peters.
Challenged by A&M. The play is under further review.
So Pittsburgh will go back to work and review the play at first base. For the moment, it's an infield hit for Ho Ching. And our first look at the replay, in our opinion, I don't want to ever speak for you, but I think I can in this case, this call should be confirmed.
I was just thinking that I'd imagine that this will be a bit of a quicker review than the last one. I just felt like her foot beat out that throw. Not by much, again, it's very close running down the line, but I thought that Ho Ching got to the base before Michaela Wart caught that ball at first.
I think sometimes too, I know we've talked about this in the past in Pittsburgh. They could have a lot, we got a lot of games going on right now.
Agreed.
They could have a lot of traffic there reviewing. So sometimes if you're in the queue, you got to wait a moment. And that could have been part of the reason for the delay for the previous call. Just guessing, just one of the variables that you have to deal with when you have 16 regional sites playing 3 games at each site today.
It was a really great play defensively, though, by KK Dement to adjust and to go after that ball and to throw it on the run and to throw it with really good velocity on the run, too. It's not easy to do. Good stretch by Michaela over at first base, just was not in time. Or at least we do not think that it was in time over there.
See what Pittsburgh thinks. Here's the review.
After review, the call on the field of safe is confirmed. She is safe. First base. A&M, that's their first challenge. They have 1 remaining.
So both teams with 1 challenge remaining. When we get beyond this 5th inning, the umpires can initiate the challenges as well. So we'll see what happens as we play through this 5th inning with each team down a challenge.
That could be a big call, too, because now it flips back to the top of the order. And we saw what Tanya Wendell did against Texas Tech and Nigeri Kennedy out there in the circle during that Big 12 tournament championship. Solo shot that really changed the game. After that, head coach for Texas Tech, Jerry Glasgow, ended up pulling Nigeri Kennedy out of the game, brought in Caitlin Terry, and that's when the Sun Devils went back-to-back for a couple more home runs in that inning.
Wendell 0 for 2 today. The 0-1 to the senior. Off the plate for a ball, it's 1-1. Tanya leading the team in hitting and in on-base percentage. She has a 9-game on-base streak after going 2 for 4 yesterday. Popped her up. Peters has had the answer against Wendell today as Powell's got it. 1 away.
A little bit of an off-speed there, too, coming in 63 miles per hour down and in to Tanya Wendell to get the fly ball out and foul territory over to Kennedy Powell.
Here's Kaylee Pond, hit by a pitch her last time, 0 for 1 today. She's been on base 4 times in the College Station Regional. Takes ball 1. Ball 2. Peters gave up the 2 runs in the second, a 2-run home run by Katie Chester. There's a strike and it's 2-1. Since then, she's given up 2 hits, double to Shep leading off the second, and now the infield single to Ho Ching starting the 5th. Ball 3. Popped up, foul ground, out of play, and the count is full. There is activity down in the Texas A&M bullpen. Sydney Lessentine is working. The 3-2. Off speed, misses, and it's ball 4.
Came back with the changeup, 55 miles per hour, right at the bottom part of the zone. And I think everybody can hear how the Texas A&M fans feel about this one not being called a strike.
Pretty good pitch.
Looks like it clipped that bottom part of the strike zone, but the call goes in ASU's favor.
So 2 on for Samantha Swan. Swan 0 for 2 today. Takes strike 1. I think we're going to get a runner at second for Ho Ching. Corey Scholl is jogging out to second base. Oh, and 1 the count to Samantha Swan. 3-2 lead for Texas A&M in the matchup of teams that are 1-0 in the College Station Regional. Winner plays tomorrow, 1 win away from advancing on to the Super Regional round. 0-2 to Swan.
I was interested to see what Sydney Peters was going to throw to Samantha Swan in this at-bat, because you've heard me talk about it, Eric. I feel like Swan's swing is very much suited to pitches at the top part of the zone. So if you're going to throw it up, you've got to make sure that you're getting it on the edges of the strike zone.
Skipped up there for a ball. It's 1-2.
Got her on an off-speed back in the first inning. Then she hit a line drive over to second base on a rise ball up and underneath the hands, but you saw her take a hack at that rise ball that was a bit more over the plate, and she's looking to send that thing out to center field.
Swan lays off, and it's 2-2.
Couple of good takes back-to-back on those pitches, off-speed pitches down in the dirt. Now you'd imagine she's probably going to come back with another one of those rise balls here.
Grounded to third. Powell's got it, steps on the bag, throws the first for the double play.
A pitcher's best friend, the ground ball double play, and it is executed perfectly. Great pitch location by Sydney Peters, up and inside to Samantha Swan, and then Kennedy Powell just doing it all over at third base. The 5-3 double play to end the inning and get out of the jam.
Some of that Texas A&M hospitality on display out there, right? Everybody seems to be.
Yep.
Yes, we're all friends here. We're all softball
For
fans. We're all fans of the 7 Innings live show in the studio with Chris and Alyssa, joined by Tori and Tara in studio all day today and on Sunday. Check it out on the app. Keep you up to date on everything happening in this big regional Saturday. We've been tracking some of the scores. Florida's looked impressive so far. Back-to-back run rule wins. They beat Georgia Tech today. Alabama got a Jocelyn Brisky one-hitter today to shut out Belmont. How about UCF in the Tallahassee regional? They're in the regional final after a 10-1 win over Stetson.
UCF, one of those teams with Coach Cindy Ball Malone, who they always play a stacked schedule at the beginning of the year so that they are prepped when it comes time for postseason. Had to battle back a bit last night. I believe it was one of the 6 walk-offs that I saw last night. In extra innings, 8th inning that it took for them to get that win, 2-1.
It's a ball to Paisley Allen, leading off here for Texas A&M in the 5th inning. Paisley 0 for 1 today. Oklahoma State with a win over Stanford. Arizona with a win over Duke. So good day cooking for the Big 12 with UCF and Oklahoma State and Arizona winning. Arizona State would love to join those Big 12 teams celebrating Saturday wins. Texas Tech with their backs against the wall a little bit right now, however.
A couple of home runs for Ole Miss in that game off of Nigeri Kennedy. 1 solo shot and 1 3-run home run have been the difference in that ball game, but kind of shocking when you just look at that score to see the Red Raiders down 4-0.
3-2 the count to Allen.
Kennedy Bunker and Rachel Connors both with home runs off of Kennedy.
Fly ball to right field. Mejia is there. She's got it, 1 down. Number 9 hitter Frankie Vrajel will come to the plate, 0 for 1 today. Texas A&M has not trailed in this game. They took a 2-0 lead. Arizona State tied it in the 2nd and 2 and a run in the 4th. Perez with a walk. Golden pinch ran. She came around to score. Vrajel takes ball 1. Slap left side and into left field for a base hit. The number 9 hitter, Frankie Vrajel, has her first hit of the College Station Regional.
Really nice job by Frankie Vrajel, too, reading the defense. You can see the infield defense playing in just a bit, but she takes a pitch that's more towards the top of the zone and just hits it straight through that 5-6 hole. Went right past the diving glove of Brooklyn Ulrich over at shortstop for a 1-out base hit.
Here's Kennedy Powell. Turned that double play last half inning. Fouls it off for strike 1. 0 for 2 at the plate today.
By her reaction on that foul ball, I'd imagine she wants that pitch back. Probably a spot that she was looking for, ended up just fouling it off. Now taking a moment to refocus before she gets back into that batter's box.
And she's someone, when she steps into the batter's box, she was still in the box when she fouled it off. You see the frustration. And we talked to Tricia Ford about how Kennedy Powell just loves to read the defense.
She's
so those eyes are working. She's surveying because she can do so much with the bat and control it and put the ball where she wants when she's on.
And she picked out the perfect pitch to try to lay down a bunt there. It was an off-speed pitch, 56 miles per hour coming in. And again, you saw the frustration after that fouled off bunt, knowing that that was the prime pitch to be able to put down.
Snap throw down the first, getting back safely is Vrajel.
She can do so many things in the batter's box, too, and that's why reading the defense is so important for her to decide what she's going to execute, whether she's going to try to lay down a bunt. Is she going to slap? Is she going to drive one out into the gap?
Grounded foul. Do the 1-2 again. Powell, 3-year starter for this Texas A&M team, senior from Conroe, Texas. She's got some sneaky power. You'll see it once in a while. Ground ball with the runner in motion. Rajal trying to pick up where the softball is. She will end up safely at third. Powell off the bag at first will slide in safely. Runners on the corners for Texas A&M with 1 out.
You hear us talking about it all the time, Eric, about how runners in motion and speed can put pressure on the defense, and that's exactly what happened on this ground ball that went through the 3-4 hole. Tiade Ho-Ching, who's playing second base, she actually broke a couple of steps towards second base, and those couple of steps prevented her from being able to get in front of this ground ball. And that's because Frankie Vrajal was taking off on the pitch, so she started to move towards second base with Vrajal. And that allows that ball to get all the way out to right field, and Vrajal makes it to third base.
Is that one of those occasions when Powell, in that control, knowing the runner's in motion? I mean,
I think with 2 strikes and that happened so late, I don't think she saw that. She's just putting it in play.
If I'm Kennedy after the game, I'm saying, oh yeah, I knew she was going. I knew who was coming to bag. I knew where to put it. I don't care if there's 2 strikes.
For sure, but that's where it can be so difficult for the middle infielders to stay home when a batter is swinging away and you see that runner moving towards second base. Your instinct is to go cover, but you have to stay home.
Line shot, it'll be a double play. Powell was off on contact with the pitch, actually, and Edwards hit it hard right at Ho-Ching, who doubles off Powell from first to end the inning.
Well, we saw the runner in motion benefit Texas A&M and then turned right around, and this one is hit hard right to Tiade Ho-Ching. And instead of a couple of runs, it ends up being an inning-ending double play. We've got ourselves a 1-run ball game here in College Station. Michaela Wark going yard, a 2-run shot to give the Aggies the early lead after an illegal pitch was called on Kenzie Brown. She took advantage of it, but it was the Arizona State offense responding immediately. Katie Chester with a 2-run shot of her own. Ariel Kowalewski, who hit a grand slam in yesterday's ball game, hits a base hit out to right field, and Haley Golden is able to advance all the way to third base on the errant throw. That call went to video review. It ends up standing, and then Kelsey Mathis with the ground ball over to shortstop brought in Haley Golden from third base to give the Aggies the 3-2 lead, and that is where we stand heading into the top of the 6th inning.
Emily Shep to lead things off, 2 for 2 today with a run scored. Pitch number 87 from Sydney Peters. Swung on a miss for strike one. Peters has tossed a gem against an Arizona State team that is hitting .329 on the season. That has hit 97 home runs as a team. Just the one home run today. Chester with the two-run shot. 1-1. Megan Bartlett that gave Emily the nickname Captain Clutch. Arizona State could use a little bit of that right now here in the sixth, down a run.
Well, Coach had talked about after last night's game just about how the defense can be something that fires them up. She said that the defense can sometimes put a bit of wind in their sails, and they're a team that likes to capitalize on that defensive momentum. And what better way to get that momentum than an inning-ending double play like we just saw to end the bottom half of the fifth.
It's a leadoff walk for Shep. Fourth time in 6 innings that the leadoff has gotten aboard for Arizona State.
You wonder here, too, where Sydney Peters is going to pitch Katie Chester. She hit that home run back in the 2nd inning, ended up walking in the 4th inning, and now she's coming up in a big spot here. We're getting later and later into the game. Now, a lot of credit to Sydney Peters for being able to move her pitches on either side of the strike zone. But this just seems like the batter that I would not want to miss over the plate, too.
Chester hit the 2-run home run in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Popped her up. Shallow right field. Vragel's got it. Big out there. One down here in the 6th.
A little bit of an off-speed there to Katie Chester. 60 miles per hour down and in on the hands. It's a really nice location, and they were going right after her. They were not about to pitch around the strike zone. She pumped in a first pitch strike there, but it works out.
Up over 90 pitches now. Double-barreled action. A couple of lefties getting loose in the Aggie pen. Kate Munnerlyn, 88. Taylor Pinnell, 78.
Some pretty good change-ups between both of those pitchers that are out there in the bullpen for Texas A&M. Munnerlyn will throw that change-up nearly 50% of the time when she's out there.
Two and 0 the count to Ashley Mejia, 0 for 2 today. She homered yesterday in the win over McNeese. Two and 1. Talked a little bit about it in game with Tricia Ford. Wonder if we're getting a warning here to the third base coach. Josh Bloomer is also the hitting coach.
Context clues are telling me that Coach Bloomer is not happy with the strike zone. That last one being called a strike against Ashley Mejia. Looked like he kind of came out of that third base coach's box, too.
Mike Thibodeau is the third base umpire. So it's been logged, a warning for the third base coach. Fly ball to shallow left. Allen's got it. A couple of weak fly balls for Arizona State. Good job by Sydney Peters. I started to talk about Tricia Ford. This staff gave up 5 home runs to Auburn in that SEC tournament game, but Sydney Peters has stepped up big in this game here today. She has worked out of jams. She's given up just the 2 runs. And she's working with a 1-run lead here in the 6th.
And I'd imagine the start yesterday and the way that she was able to come out and get those 7 strikeouts in just the 3 innings that she pitched yesterday has to kind of rebuild your confidence a bit, because there was a lot of time between that loss to Auburn and turning around to this College Station regional. So all you can do is really think about that last game, and you're probably just itching to get back out there in the circle. But she did a great job yesterday, and we're seeing that carry over to today. Now, she doesn't have as many strikeouts, but I think she's a pitcher that doesn't need to rely on getting the strikeouts. But we've seen a ton of weak contact off of the bat for Arizona State.
Freshman pinch hitter here for Arizona State. Jasmarie Roberts takes strike 1. Roberts batting for Acuna with 2 down and 1 on here in the 6th. Popped her up on the infield. Peters getting out of the way. Called for by Powell. She puts it away. 3 pop-outs to end the inning. We've played 5.5. A&M on top by 1 at College Station. Two-way player Maddie Taylor will lead McNeese against UConn in our next game. She is the starting pitcher for McNeese. That game coming up 5:30 Eastern time. Probably going to be a little bit later than that because this game's taking a little bit longer to play. Texas A&M and Arizona State, but you'll see Maddie and her Cowgirl teammates on the field against the Huskies coming up in our first elimination game.
Maddie's pitched in some big games for McNeese this season, but none bigger than this one that they're about to face against UConn, who both of these teams are very hungry, looking to try to keep their seasons alive any way that they can, but we all know that it starts in the circle to set the tone for the rest of the game.
Kenzie Brown getting to work here in the bottom of the 6th. New right fielder for Arizona State, Yazi Avila, freshman, will head out there for Mejia. Maya Perez will lead things off here in the 6th inning for Texas A&M on top 3-2. Couple of walks, couple of runs scored for Perez today. Technically, the second run was Golden, the pinch runner. That's just inside for a ball.
Her spot in the order has scored twice today.
You're such a great teammate. Maya didn't touch the plate. Golden did, but Perez started the inning with the walk. And she's on base again. Hit by a pitch for a 15th time this year.
You know, she's wanting to swing the bat when she's up in the batter's box, but she will take her base. Even that reaction, she wants to swing. This one looks like it gets her on that right elbow guard. Kenzie Brown trying to work the rise ball in.
Michaela Work, strike one. Michaela had the big shot for A&M in this game, a 2-run home run with 2 outs. A lot of 2-out runs yesterday. If you remember that Connecticut game in that big second inning, they had 10 of their runs in that second inning with 2 outs. They ended up scoring 13 in the inning.
And Michaela Work came up to the plate 3 different times in the same inning.
Connecticut pitchers threw 82 pitches in the second inning. By comparison, this is pitch number 74 for Kenzie Brown as she works here in the bottom of the 6th. Popped her up, right side, Ho Ching. Step on the grass, 1 down.
Similar pitch that Kenzie Brown got Michaela Work to fly out in her last at bat too. Went back to the rise ball up and inside. Similar location just on the other side of the plate that Kenzie was trying to work to Maya Perez. Seems like the game plan for her, and similar to Sydney Peters, is make sure that these power hitters cannot get their hands extended on those pitches that are on the inner half.
Kowalewski on the ground, thrown to second for the force. The toss to first not going to be in time. 2 down, Kowalewski at first. Looks like Ansley Gross will come on to run for the catcher, Kowalewski. Loser of this game comes back tonight to play the winner of the next game between McNeese and UConn. Winner plays Sunday. Ball 1. A&M holds on. They'll play Sunday with a 2-0 record, and they would take on the winner of the last game of the day here. A&M needing just 1 win to advance onto the Super Regionals. Team they'd play would need 2 wins. For Arizona State, in the 7th inning, it'll be 8-9-1. Ulrich, Ho Ching, and Wendell due up. We'll see if Peters goes back out there in the 7th. 1-1 the count to Mathis.
We did see some action in the Texas A&M bullpen, but I'd imagine that the way that Peters has been throwing today, that she goes back out there for the top of the 7th inning.
There goes the runner. The throw down the second ends up in center field. Gross will hold on the bag.
Just looked like that throw from Samantha Swan sailed a bit too far to the right towards the second base side of second base. And Gross was able to dive in safely. Good backup, though, by Kaylee Pond out in center field.
Gross now 7 for 7 on stolen bases this season. Insurance run at second. Slow roller left side, gloved by Shep on the first, and that will do it for Texas A&M in the 6th. We head to the 7th here in College Station. It's a 1-run game. A&M fans having a good time. Their team up by 1 as we head to the 7th inning in this matchup of 1-0 teams. A&M trying to hold on. They've been very good after 6 innings all season long. 24-0 when leading after 6. They have that 1-run lead as we head to the 7th at Davis Diamond.
And Sydney Peters is back out there in the circle. She has been throwing so well all game long that even the young fans in the crowd are loving what they are seeing from Sydney Peters. That's the pro move, though. You got to have the fan.
I don't know if that's grandma, but that is like a classic grandma move right there. Like, look, my grandchild, there's nothing more important in this world, so I am going to hold this fan here. I don't care if I cramp up. Loving it. Here we go in the 7th. Ulrich to lead things off. 0 for 2 against Peters today. Ball 1. Brooklyn struck out in the 2nd, fouled out to Powell in the 4th. Pitch number 100 from Sydney Peters. This is for a ball. The head coach for Texas A&M, Tricia Ford, handles the pitching staff for the Aggies, so she is very much in tune with what this staff can do and how far she feels like she can go with Sydney Peters. 2-0 is fouled off.
You'll see coaches, too, have a plan coming into the game, and maybe Sydney Peters going a couple of times through the order and then see and adjust like we talked about. We saw the action in the bullpen, but you've got to read what the game has given you, and I completely agree here. Having Sydney Peters go back out here for the top of the 7th inning, just given the amount of weak contact that we've seen.
2-2. Well, the center field drifting back and over the head and off the wall. Mathis plays it, digging it for second and sliding safely is Ulrich. Let's see what Texas A&M will do. Surely they'll challenge. They have 1 remaining. We're in the late innings. The umpires can decide to go to it, but if you have a challenge, you have to burn it right here if you're Texas A&M.
What a play by Kelsey Mathis and the tag by Talon Edwards. The question to me, I thought the throw beat her. The question, does Talon keep control of that ball the entire time?
The ruling on the field of safe at second base is being challenged by A&M. Play is under further review.
I see Edwards. The first thing you see is the glove hit the dirt, and does Ulrich make an amazing slide to avoid the tag? It's there in plenty of time. Ball's a little loose too, but I think she still has control, Madison.
I think she's safe. I think that left hand gets into second base before Talon applies the tag. It was a bit of a swim move too by Brooklyn Ulrich. She pulled her right hand back
and was reaching with that left hand, and just looking at Ulrich's reaction, she was so pumped up. I think she knew she had avoided the tag. The call on the field is safe. You heard it is being challenged by Texas A&M, and Pittsburgh's taking a look right now. You can see a lot of softball there, Madison.
She looks to have control of it to me, because right here, even though that glove hit the ground, that ball's not moving. So she looks like she is squeezing with her thumb and her pinky in that glove. You don't see the ball moving.
But just the job by Ulrich, as you mentioned, to pull the right arm back and then just barrel roll over the bag just to make sure she stayed on top of it. You could hear some cheering a moment ago. That was the Arizona State dugout. Watching it on the video board here at Davis Diamond, they were letting everybody know what they thought the call was, that the call on the field, safe, is the right call. And that's an important element here as well. Safe was the call on the field. Do you see enough to overturn the call? Would be one of the biggest questions being answered right now in Pittsburgh.
And that read came all from Brooklyn as she was rounding first base, because that ball was in front of her the entire time. So she decided to go ahead and try to take second base. She's still stoked about it over that second, as she should be.
Still a gamble, though, because Mathis, even though she tried to make a play in the air, she recovered pretty quickly, played it off the wall, and got the throw in there. And I think what Tricia Ford and her staff saw was the throw was there in plenty of time.
Agreed.
The throw
Yes.
beat the runner, and a lot of times you're like, hang on a second, this has got to be out. But I think the slide by Ulrich is going to be the difference here. And this call, at the very least, should stand, if not confirmed. But that's just our guess here. The call is being made in Pittsburgh. The call has been made in Pittsburgh. And here's Mike Bartling with the announcement.
After review, the call of safe stands. She's safe. That's the second challenge for A&M. They have no challenges remaining.
They have no challenges remaining. The umpires can initiate a challenge here, though, if needed. So a leadoff double for Brooklyn Ulrich. She has her first hit of the regional. It comes at a big time. And we'll have a pinch runner here for Arizona State. Handle Lewis will come in and run.
Outside of the home run by Katie Chester, that was the hardest hit ball that we have seen today from Arizona State. Came off of her bat at 71 miles per hour. Another one of those rise balls that was more on the outer half, and she tattooed it out to center field.
So here's the number 9 hitter, Ho Ching. You have to think bunt all the way right here on the sacrifice.
That'd be bunting.
And she lays it down. It's a good one. Powell only has a play at first. The sacrifice successful. Lewis to third with one out.
Textbook fundamental softball right there. Leadoff double, especially late in the game. It's turning the lineup over. You go ahead and put down the sacrifice bunt, move that runner over to third base, and now you have a ton of different ways that you can score the tying run from third. Sac fly, base hit, you name it. Tanya Wendell's going to do whatever she can to drive it in this run.
Here is the leadoff hitter, Tanya Wendell, the senior. 0 for 3 today. Skipped up, ball one, blocked by Kowalewski.
Nice job by Kowalewski back behind the plate. Pitch bounced well out in front. Kept it in front of her, though.
Time called by Kowalewski back behind the plate. Tanya's dad, Mike, front row center, trying to get everybody up in support of his daughter, who's hit by the pitch. First and third with one out.
He is always bringing the energy, and you could feel it coming from that dugout down the first base line. Even Tanya, as she tossed that bat back to her dugout after she got hit by the pitch, he's loving it.
Here's Kaylee Pond. But first, Tricia Ford going out to the circle. Is this how do we pitch Pond, or is this a pitching change? Looks like a strategy session and sticking with Peters.
I'm leaning more strategy here, and given, one, the way that Sydney has pitched so far today, but also looking at the way that she's pitched to the top half of this order, 1 through 3 in the order, they've gotten on base, whether it's been by walks or hit batters, but they do not have a base hit between them. So it also could be to slow things down a bit too, because you can feel the energy, the momentum, and I'm sure a lot of it's coming from Mike Wendell down the first baseline, but you can feel it starting to pick up in that Arizona State dugout. So oftentimes calling time can settle everybody down and try to do whatever you can to get that momentum back into your dugout.
There's another veteran player, 6-year grad student, Kaylee Pond, who has battled injuries throughout her career at multiple schools. Big spot here with this Arizona State team. Fouled it off for strike one. Pond flied out in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, walked in the fifth. Homered yesterday in the win over McNeese, her 15th of the season. She's got power. Peters up to 107 pitches. Here's 108. Line shot, base hit, it's a tie game. Arizona State comes through in the 7th. Kaylee Pond delivers. 3-3.
when a pitcher is pitching well all game long, sometimes you have to go up there and you have to take a chance. You have to swing at a pitch that's probably going to be called a ball. And that's what happens here with Kaylee Pond. She goes up there with a plan to drive the pitch on the outer half. And so what? It's a couple of inches off of the plate. She still smokes it back up the middle, 74 miles per hour off of her bat to tie up this ball game in the top of the 7th.
And that's going to do it for Sydney Peters as Ford is back out to make a pitching change. Kaylee Pond's going to take the opportunity to make sure she celebrates with everybody in the dugout after that go-ahead single. We mentioned the battles with injury. She played at Cal the last 2 years. She was at Iowa State before Cal. She's had multiple knee injuries. She missed 2 seasons total with injuries. And with her collegiate career winding down, she comes up with a huge hit in the College Station Regional.
And this is a team who all season long has been dealing with injuries. You've heard Coach Bartlett talk about how resilient this team is and how they've dealt with adversity. And one of the players she talked about was Kaylee Pond, being able to step up in that leadoff spot when Tanya Wendell was injured earlier this year, and she steps up again in the biggest moment for Arizona State.
To the bullpen, Texas A&M goes. Taylor Pinnell is getting loose right now for the Aggies. The lefty. Madison talked about the changeups. The senior making her 19th appearance of the season. 16th in relief. She's thrown 25 innings. Opponents hitting .303 against Pinnell on the season.
When you think about Taylor Pinnell, you think about her being able to thrive in the closing role. You don't often see closers in softball, but I think she's somebody who has done a really good job with that throughout her career. You'll see her throw the curveball and the rise ball, but it's that changeup. She will throw it early. She will throw it often. She will throw it back to back. And it's one of those pitches that is very difficult to pick up straight out of the hand.
Spent the last 3 seasons with Mizzou. Steps in to face Samantha Swan. 0 for 3 today. Hit into a double play her last time. Foul tip. Strike 1. Oh for 3 today. Was 2 for 4 with a home run yesterday. 2 on with 1 out. 1-1. There's that changeup. 1-2.
I'd come back with it 3 pitches in a row. She missed the first changeup down in the dirt, but she's not discouraged by that. At times, she'll intentionally bury pitches down in the dirt. I'd come back with another one of those changeups here.
She hits Swan with the 1-2 pitch, and the bases are loaded.
Came back with the changeup, just hung on to it a bit too long. The pitch before was perfectly executed. Got her into a 2-strike count, and then it hits Samantha Swan on that left shoulder. 2 free passes already in this inning.
Emily Shep will come to the plate with the bases loaded. Shep singled and scored in the 2nd, doubled in the 4th, walked in the 6th. Takes strike 1. Shep 4 for 6 with the bases loaded this season. Takes a ball. Two and 1. Ulrich started the inning with the double. Ho-Ching with the sacrifice. Another one in the dirt, blocked by the catcher. Wendell was hit by a pitch. Pond with the RBI single to score the pinch runner Lewis. And Swan hit by a pitch. It's 3-1 and nowhere to put Emily Shep.
6 free passes given up by Texas A&M today, 3 of those being hit batters.
The 3-1. 3-2. Ground ball, gloved, tagging the bag to get the out. A run does score to put Arizona State in front. Probably keeping another run off the board was Talon Edwards with a great play, but the Sun Devils are in front in the 7th.
A lot to unpack on this play, but Emily Shep doing a nice job just driving this one back up the middle. How about the play by Edwards straight to KK Dement to be able to get that out over at second base? To your point, Eric, yes, it does bring 1 run across, does give Arizona State the lead, but it prevented another run from scoring.
Ball 1 to Katie Chester, hit the 2-run home run for Arizona State. Sun Devils didn't score again until this inning when they've played it 2 to go in front by 1. Fly ball to the center fielder, Mathis. She's in front of it, and she's got it for the final out. 2 runs for Arizona State. They take a lead to the bottom of the 7th here in College Station.
We said that Brooklyn Ulrich is swinging a hot bat, and she hit this double at the perfect time, straight off of the wall, and then couple of walks, free passes, and it's Kaylee Pond fired up to tie up the game with the base hit up the middle, and the Sun Devils have the lead.
Script flipped in College Station. Texas A&M was 3 outs away from a win here to improve them to 2-0. But it's Arizona State with 2 runs in the top of the 7th, and now Kenzie Brown back in the circle to try to end it for the Sun Devils on top 4-3.
And she's going to be facing 7, 8, 9 batters in this Texas A&M offense. 4 strikeouts on the day so far for Kenzie Brown. We've seen at times that Texas A&M has been putting the ball in play, getting on base, but she's done a really nice job of settling down this offense, similar to what we saw with Peters prior to that 7th inning, just working both sides of the plate, mixing speeds a ton too. That changeup has been devastating at times so far today, and limiting the free passes too.
Just giving up the 4 hits, Madison. 2 of those hits were in the 5th inning. You pointed out earlier, a double play ended that inning. The defense was there as Kenzie Brown had given up the 2 hits, but was helped out by her teammates. Last inning, she hit Perez to start the inning, but then retired Wark, Kowalewski, and Mathis. And now we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. KK Dement to lead it off, 0 for 2 today against Kenzie Brown. Popped up on the first pitch. Ho Ching is under it. Quickly 1 down. Pinch hitter coming up here for Paisley Allen. It'll be Maddie Sawney, the freshman from Hawaii. We saw Sawney yesterday in a pinch hitting role. She had an RBI single. She's been a good pinch hitter this year, 9 for 19 as a pinch hitter. She steps in with 1 out here in the 7th. Brown gave up 2 runs in the first, a run in the 4th to A&M today. Strike 1 to Sawney. Tried to check. She did on the appeal. It's 1-1.
Pretty close call over there on that checked swing. I also thought that pitch looked pretty good too. One of those off speeds coming in there, 59 miles per hour, right at the knees. She held up. Looks like she held up there.
The 1-1 to Sawney. 1-2. Changeup, 2 down.
When that pitch is working, you just keep throwing it and throwing it and throwing it, especially when Sawney just hadn't had a chance to see it at all this game, being a pinch hitter coming in at the bottom of the 7th. That was 3 changeups in a row. Such great spin on this pitch, too, to be able to pull the string. Kenzie Brown is loving it out there in the circle.
5th strikeout for Brown. Her first since she struck out the side in the 2nd inning. 2 down, and here's Frankie Vrajel, the number 9 hitter, 1 for 2 against Brown today.
Of those 5 strikeouts today, 4 of them have come off of the changeup.
Two and 0. Ball 3. Brown's been efficient, just 88 pitches as she works here in the 7th. But it's a 4-pitch walk to the number 9 hitter, which means Kennedy Powell will come to the plate with a tying run at first.
We know that Kenzie Brown has a tendency to pitch around the outside of the zone, so at times the walks can kind of creep up, but that was not the time to walk a batter, especially the 9 spot. And it's flipping over towards the top of the order. Kennedy Powell with a base hit in her last at-bat out to right field.
1 for 3 today. Crowd getting on Brown with the ball 6 chant right now. Conversation coming up in the circle. John Bartfeld, the pitching coach for Arizona State, will talk to his battery. Brown and Swan.
Really the last 6 pitches too, she's been trying to work that rise ball in the lower part of the zone, and she's just missing it. It looks like it's falling out of her hand just a little bit. So trying to get back on track with that rise ball so that she can use that changeup. You also wonder too if Coach Bartfeld was hoping that maybe the walk out to the circle might stop some of the chants in the stands, but did not discourage the Aggie fans at all.
They're determined and stubborn. I mean that in a loving way. 1-0, the count to Powell. Fouled off. Kennedy Powell, first team all-conference selection in the SEC this year. In a big spot in College Station. And down to her final strike. Kenzie Brown brings the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Arizona State comes from behind, and they improve to 2-0 in the College Station Regional.
This is an Arizona State team that just continues to battle, continues to fight. Whether it's injuries earlier in the year or falling behind in the game, they are going to just chip away and try to figure out a way to win. And that's exactly what we saw from this team today. Led, of course, by Kenzie Brown out there in the circle. Ended up with 6 strikeouts on the day, and the offense coming through when they needed it. Tons of senior leadership. Mike Wendell loves it. Bringing the energy in the stands all game long.
Mike just got chased off the dugout. he got a little overzealous down there celebrating the victory. Arizona State didn't have a lead until the 7th inning. But if you're going to get your first lead of the game, the 7th inning is a perfect time to do it. 4-3 the final. As Arizona State improves to 2-0. Texas A&M will have to come back and play tonight in an elimination game. Let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance delivered off the bat of Kaylee Pond.
We saw a lot of moments in this game where the Arizona State team was fired up, but none bigger than this moment for Kaylee Pond. Going to celebrate with her teammates, the go-ahead run on the base hit back up the middle, especially off of Sydney Peters, who really had been dealing all game long. To be able to string together a couple of big hits in that moment when your team was down, huge for Kaylee Pond to be able to come through.
A lot going on down there. I hope Kaylee Pond can hear me. Kaylee, can you hear us? All right, you've got, you know what, just stare off into space. You do whatever you want because you brought in the game-winning run. Congratulations, your teammates are going to help you out. What does this moment mean to you and your teammates? Because Madison just talked about you've been through a lot this year as a team, but to be in this moment, 2-0 in College Station, what's that feeling like?
Oh my gosh. Oh, center field. Hey, all right now. I mean, it's amazing. We know that now we only have to focus on the next game, win one tomorrow. That's the big one. And yeah, I mean, momentum. We've been struggling through injuries. I mean, we're a very injury-prone team, and I feel like we're just peaking at the right moment.
Kaylee, what is it about this team? And I think I'm seeing an example of it. One, your incredible skills to be able to balance all of this on you while listening to us, but to be able to create that energy. You guys are heading into the top of the 7th, down by 1 run, but your team is fired up. What is it about this team that brings the energy?
Oh, we have the best bench in the country. Our team is very unselfish. We play for one another. That was something Bloomer was talking about, I believe, top of the 6th, about playing for one another, and that carried on. I mean, Brooklyn also starting off with a double. How can you not get lit?
Okay, you know, you mentioned the injury-prone team. You've been quite busy in the trainer's room throughout your career, sad to say, but yeah, happy to say you're here trying to go out on your terms after just battling injury for so many years. What does it mean on a personal note to you to be holding the championship belt and just delivering your team to a regional final here in College Station?
Yeah, I mean, God gives you what you can handle. I have that tattooed on me, and if I wouldn't have gone through as many ACL injuries as I had, I would have never met these girls. I wouldn't have had a 6th year, and so it's been a blessing, and we're just ready to, you know, keep it going.
I think the smile tells the story. Congratulations. And hopefully your teammates can help take that off you unless you're just going to wear it for tomorrow.
I don't even know what's on me right now.
You'll see it, trust me. It'll be online before you know it.
I'm sure my grandma will send me a photo in the group chat.
Grandma. But Grandma's got happy tears at home, so congratulations to you.
Congrats, Kaylee.
Thank you so much.
Kaylee Pond came through in the clutch for Texas A&M, for Arizona State to knock off Texas A&M. So Texas A&M will now play tonight on or about 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 Central. Stay tuned because UConn and McNeese, it's going to take a little time for them to get ready and get on the field. That's looking more like a 6 o'clock Eastern time start. So we're just here all day, but it starts with the victory for Arizona State over Texas A&M.
A huge comeback victory for the Sun Devils, setting the tone on day 2 in this College Station Regional. We don't know what we're going to see, but that's what makes it so exciting.
McNeese and UConn coming up in about a half hour. Be sure to join us then in our first elimination game, and then it'll be Texas A&M against the winner of our next game later tonight. Arizona State celebrating their 2-0, and they'll play for regional championship tomorrow.